Today, we're diving into a topic that can be a bit nerve-wracking for Turo hosts. What do you do when your car gets totaled? It's okay. We've been through it 14 times, and by the end of this video, you'll be a pro whenever your car gets crashed, dented, or sometimes totaled. Hey guys, it's George with Car Rental Coach. If you're interested in growing a Turo fleet like we have, or starting your own car rental business, whether it be through ride-sharing apps or private rentals, click on the little notification bell to stay up to date on all new videos. At Car Rental Coach, we consult with clients every single day and help them build passive income through car rentals while avoiding all of the obstacles we come across while doing this ourselves. We only take on so many clients at once, so if you want to see if you qualify to work with us, go to carrentalcoach.com and fill out the quick 60-second survey to see if we'd be a good fit to help you grow your car fleet and maximize your profits. So, as the largest Turo host in Pittsburgh, I've been through this many times. Getting the call, your car has been totaled, sir. To new hosts, and I'm not gonna lie, even myself when I first started, this used to give me anxiety, panic, and not the best feelings. But as time went on and I mastered the art of insurance, I have a smile on my face knowing an insurance check's on the way. I'll be able to replace that car and a lot of times make some money. So I'm going to walk you through what do you do on this call. Well, first thing you want to make sure you do before your car even goes out on a trip and before you get the dreaded call that your car has been totaled, you want to make sure that your documentation is prestige. What do I mean by prestige documentation? Well, with Turo at the time of this video, it all comes down to photographing your vehicle before the trip. So before your car even goes out on a trip and gets totaled, you want to make sure that you have the proper documentation in place. What do I mean by proper documentation? Well, it all comes down to the photos with Turo. So before your trip even takes place, you want to make sure you take thorough photos of the interior and exterior of your car. I usually take around 30 to 40 photos covering the interior and exterior of the vehicle, as well as the odometer and the fuel gauge. So you want to make sure these photos are taken within 24 hours of the trip, because Turo looks at something called metadata that will tell them if the photos were taken longer than 24 hours. If you took your photos 25 hours before the trip occurred, well, you're out of luck and insurance isn't going to cover you. So make sure that your photos are taken within 24 hours of every trip, or you might end up being in a lot of trouble whenever that car does get in an accident and there's nothing you can really do. I've had some hosts tell me this from their personal experience in the past. I feel horrible for them. I can't imagine what it would feel like to have a car become a total loss, especially if you have a payment on it. It can stop you from succeeding right from the beginning in your Turo journey. So please, I emphasize, do not skip out on the photos. Take as many as you can, upload them to the app, and always make sure they're taken within 24 hours. In addition to these photos that you take within 24 hours, always make sure you photograph the car in more details on spots where it may have damage. When I say damage, your car may have some small scratches, a small dent, a scuff. Make sure those photos are taken in depth and you really take detailed photos of those parts specifically, because if the car is in an accident, those are going to come in handy when filing the insurance claim, because the pre-trip evidence is crucial in this step. And you don't want to have to get on the phone with an insurance negotiator saying, well, there was some pre-existing damage to the car, and obviously they're going to want to exaggerate it and make that little scuff seem to be more than it was, so they give you less money whenever the car's damaged. So make sure those photos are taken of any little nicks, scratches, or dents before the trip happens, because that is going to be crucial in making sure you get the most for your insurance check. All right, that was before the trip even happened. So now let's say you checked your car in, you have the proper documentation, you checked the guest's license, everything's good to go. A couple hours go by, you're enjoying a cup of coffee, and you get the call, either from the police or Turo, or sometimes both, that your car has been totaled. And what do you do then? Well, it all depends on where the car is at. But number one thing, make sure that car is photographed and you document all of the damage immediately. And when I say immediately, I mean do that as soon as possible. If your car is towed or taken by police, I understand if you can't get to it that day, but try to get to the car within 24 hours and photograph any damage the guest has. What I've done in the past for guests that took the car out of state, they were compliant and actually photographed it for me so I could start the damage claim even sooner. sometimes your guests aren't going to want to help you as much as that, and they're still shook from being in the accident. Or sometimes the type of guest that gets in the accidents in your cars isn't the best renter and doesn't want to help you because they get scared about their own insurance problems and the fees they'll have to pay. So make sure you get to that car as soon as possible. Even with cars I've had taken to the junk lot in the past, they were kind enough to photograph it for me so I didn't have to go out there to start the claim. But it's always ideal that you're the one that's seeing the car in person and taking detailed documentation of it, because nobody cares about your assets as much as you do. So if you can, go out to that vehicle within 24 hours, photograph all the damage, and make sure you don't skimp on the photos, because that's going to become very, very important in step number 2. In addition to the photos, make sure you document where the accident was, the time the accident occurred, and the location of the accident. These are all going to be very, very important steps when filing your claim and dealing with the insurance company. Also, I recommend giving Turo a call to document the accident as soon as you know it happens, and do not rely on your guest submitting the documentation for damage, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to, whether it's out of negligence or trying to hide what happened. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, it's your vehicle. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you call Turo, submit that documentation as soon as possible. Even if you don't have the photos of the car at this point, very, very important to submit the damage claim, because it will expire, and sometimes Turo won't accept it if you do it too late. So as soon as you find out something's wrong with it, file that claim. So I'm going to walk you through a story with one of my most recent insurance claims. So I had a 2012 Nissan Rogue I was renting, very reliable car, was recently wrecked by a renter who went into a telephone pole. So this is what happened with this case and how I dealt with it personally. So the first thing I found out was the car was taken to a tow yard around 40 minutes from our location where we do our pickup and drop-offs. It's a space we rent for our cars. Anyways, the guest submitted some photos, but they weren't the most clear, and I knew we needed better photos. So what I had my assistant John do is go out to the tow yard where the vehicle was stored. We didn't take the vehicle out of storage at this point. We just wanted to get documentation for insurance. So he went out, took as many photos as he could, called Turo, alerted them that the vehicle was at this tow yard, and submitted the documentation to file the claim. And here's an important step. Do not pay the tow yard to get your vehicle out of storage or wherever they have it until you call Turo and get their go-ahead. This is a problem I hear hosts having all the time, where they pay some outrageous storage fee for the vehicle, and Turo tells them, well, we didn't clear this yet, and they're not able to get that refund. So before you do anything or pay the junkyard to get your car out, make sure you call Turo, because if your car is totaled, they actually won't have you take it back to your location. They'll use a service called IAA that is going to then claim the vehicle and pick it up directly from the junk lot or junkyard, and you're not actually going to even have to see the vehicle. So make sure you call Turo and get their go-ahead and permission on anything you do, and do not, I repeat, do not get the car towed out before you speak with Turo. But anyways, John went out, took some photographs of the vehicle. Turo determined it was totaled just by the photos. They sent out IAA, who does their own inspections of the vehicle and appraisals, to come pick up the car, and they paid to get the car out themselves, so I didn't even have to deal with the junkyard besides having just to send John to go out and take some photos for the claim. So they actually valued the car around $13,000, and with its life on Turo, it made around $15,000 in revenue already. So I came out a really big winner on this one. It sucks sometimes when you get a car and it gets totaled within the first month or two. It doesn't really happen that often. I've only had that happen 2 times since I started this, but again, it's going to happen when you grow your fleet, and we have over 50 cars, so a total car or an accident is nothing new. So don't get discouraged even if you have one car on the platform and it gets totaled fast. Just deal with the insurance the proper way and you'll come out a winner. Another thing people fail to realize, sometimes your guests may have their own insurance that covers the vehicle, and then you don't have to use the deductible you have through Turo. So currently I use the 80-20 plan. What does that mean? That means I make 80% of the revenue, and Turo takes 20% for the insurance coverage, and as well as them allowing me to list it on the platform and them using those expenses to pay marketing. That comes with a $750 deductible, so if your guest actually has insurance, you can bypass the whole deductible part and receive the full amount of the vehicle's damage. Usually it's easier to go with Turo from my experience, and only around 15 to 20% of guests actually do have insurance that covers them during their rental, but I have had that work in the past, and it's definitely worth asking. So when your guest gets into an accident, ask them for their personal insurance after, but still file the claim through Turo, because you don't want that time period to expire and to find out your guest doesn't actually have insurance. I've had that happen myself, where I wanted to go through guest insurance because they told me they had it, and then I called the policy. I believe they used the general, and they told me that the guest didn't have insurance for 3 months. So I'm not sure why they made up the lie. Probably because they were scared during that time period and didn't want me to sue them or something like that. But thankfully, I filed a claim through Turo as well. So even though the general insurance that I was trying to go through first didn't work, Turo then covered it because I filed the claim the same day. So always file two, and that's something I noticed new hosts don't do, and only the guys that are experienced in the game end up doing. So another pro tip. Step 3, understand your insurance coverage. Understanding your insurance coverage is absolutely essential. Turo provides its own insurance policy for hosts, but your personal insurance may also come into play depending on the circumstances. Review both policies carefully to determine what is covered and what isn't. Pay close attention to coverage limits, deductibles, and any exclusions that may apply. If you're unsure about any aspect of your coverage, don't hesitate to reach out to your insurance provider or Turo for clarification. So, when I say personal insurance, this is what I mean. So, if your car is being rented out on Turo, Turo's insurance covers it during that rental period. But you may be wondering, what happens if your car is parked or sitting at the pickup location and just gets hit on the road, or say you're driving it to do maintenance on your vehicle or just get gas and all the other things that come with the Turo business? Well, that's where off rental insurance comes into play. There's two big guys in the game right now. One's called Lula and one's called ABI. At the time of this video, those are the two current insurance companies you can use for off rental insurance. Depending on your state, they range from around $90 to $110 per vehicle for off rental insurance. So off rental insurance covers you if your car is, say, parked at the pickup location or outside of your home, or you're using it to, say, go get gas, tires, or any maintenance that is going on that is for the actual car rental business. It does not cover you if you decide you want to take that car and drive the family to Disney World. So make sure you know what off rental insurance actually does, and talk to your insurance agent and provider for more details on that, because it does vary state by state, and that is very, very, very important to know. So an example when this happened to me and I was able to use my off rental insurance was when somebody actually wrecked into my car dealership. They wrecked into the car that was sitting there parked before it was picked up for a trip on Turo. I was able to turn it into my off rental insurance and able to get a check. So I highly recommend that. I know some people on Turo say, well, why should I have off rental insurance? The car is always, insured when it's on its rental. Yeah, that's true, and 90% of the time you're going to be fine. But that 10%, it's not worth the risk for me for only $100 a month. Like I said, a lot of people think off rental insurance isn't necessary. But imagine worst case scenario, a drunk driver, or just say road conditions aren't the greatest. They're driving around and they just wreck into the lot where you store all of your cars, and they take your whole fleet down. You can't recover from that. Your whole fleet's gone, your business is gone, and your livelihood, when you could have just been insuring these cars for $90 to $110 a month. So I don't think it's worth the risk, and I highly, highly recommend having off rental insurance. So I have a lot of stories about how difficult working with insurance companies can be. I've never actually lost an insurance case because I've had so much practice throughout my life with insurance through the different industries I've been involved in. But you're going to deal with everything from insurance agents saying, the car is not worth what you say it is. That's when you do a fair market value analysis, and you can look at comparisons in your area. They're always going to try to give you the lowest price a lot of the times. Not all insurance agents are going to do that, but a rule of thumb is they're going to try to give you as little as possible. Another thing that makes working with insurance companies difficult, they are hard to get a hold of, and they work very, very slowly. And sometimes, for me personally, that $15,000 check you're waiting on can make or break your business. So you have to follow up on them every single day, whether through emails, phone calls, or I guess that's the only way to really get a hold of them, right? But whenever I'm dealing with insurance, I call and I email every single day, or have my assistant reach out to them, because it really is an industry where the squeakiest wheel does get the oil, and it is what it is. make sure you follow up with them daily or you're not going to hear back. Another thing with insurance companies, sometimes it becomes a he said, she said thing. I haven't experienced this often because all of my vehicles are maintained and I keep excellent records. But I did have one guest when I was renting a BMW X5 to them claim that the car went into turbo mode when they were putting on the brakes. Well, this car didn't even have turbo mode, and also if it did, that would not be activated by putting on the brakes. Anyways, the story was completely fabricated, but their insurance company tried to side with their client and say I was the one wrong. So I had to take it to a mechanic, get some additional documentation, and I proved them wrong. But remember, they're always going to want to side with the side where they don't have to pay you the money. So take it with a grain of salt whenever they challenge you. Don't get mad, don't let your ego get involved. Just show them the evidence, and if you're doing things the right way, you're going to win. So step number 4, assess the financial implications. With a clear understanding of your insurance coverage, it's time to assess the financial implications of the incident. Start by calculating the total loss value of your car based on its pre-accident condition and market value. Consider factors such as mileage, age, and any upgrades or modifications. Next, compare this total loss with the coverage provided by Turo and your personal insurance. Take into account any deductibles that may apply. This comparison will give you a rough idea of your potential returns from the insurance. All right, step number 5, negotiate with your insurance company. So in life, everything's negotiable. And like I said, your insurance company is going to try to pay you as little as possible, or your guest insurance company even more, because think about it, they're in their corner versus you. They don't want to pay you, and they want their person to win because that's who's paying them every month. It makes sense. Don't get mad about it. Just learn how to negotiate. So when negotiating with insurance companies, to make sure you get the best possible settlement every time, present them with all the evidence you've gathered, including photos, videos, and documentations of the car's value. Be prepared to advocate for fair compensation based on the damages incurred. If the insurance company offers a settlement that you believe is too low, don't be afraid to push back. Provide them with any additional evidence or information that supports your claim. Consider seeking assistance from a professional if you're having trouble negotiating with the insurance company. So at carrentalcoach.com, we do specialize in helping you with insurance claims as well. And if you do sign up for our services at carrentalcoach.com, we will help you with that, and we win every single time. So another trick of the trade in the car insurance business is supplemental claims. So a supplemental claim is a claim made in addition to the original claim. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just say your Nissan Rogue is wrecked and the insurance company offers you $3,000 to fix it, and you take it to a body shop and they tell you it's $5,000. So what you do, you file a supplemental claim for the additional $2,000, and Turo uses a service at the time of this video called Snapsheet, where you would submit it through their portal, and 9 times out of 10, they're pretty easy to work with and you'll get that additional amount of money. So make sure if the costs that you incur are higher than what's originally offered, that you file a supplemental claim. And you have to make sure you do this because they're not going to be pushing and helping you do it. I mean, it makes sense, right? They're trying to give you as little as possible, and that's just the insurance business. So file a supplemental claim. That's your responsibility. And don't be lazy, and make sure you maximize your returns. Okay, step number 6, explore additional options for maximizing returns. Finally, explore any additional options for maximizing your returns from the insurance claim. This could include seeking the compensation for loss of rental income during the downtime, negotiating for a higher settlement amount, or even considering legal options if necessary. Keep in mind that every situation is unique, so be sure to tailor your approach based on the specific circumstances of your case. And remember, patience and persistence are key when dealing with insurance companies. Use that money to buy another car. And there you have it. That is a comprehensive guide to dealing with insurance claims. And if you ever need additional help, you can go to carrentalcoach.com and schedule a free call with us. By following these steps and staying organized throughout the process, you'll be well equipped to navigate challenging situations successfully. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and look out for future Car Rental Coach videos on the way. Thanks again.